In this video, we'll take a look at custom setups within Nuke Stage. We'll look at importing custom stage layouts dependent on your physical LED volume, using switches to easily change camera angles, and using the sequencer to animate values. First, let's navigate to our folder with our downloaded content and open up the camera mapping.nks project. When this opens, we have to double click the project name in the top right to turn the bar from orange to green and make it active. You'll notice this is a cylindrical LED stage layout. We'll hit play and you'll see that this is a different layout compared to our 360 project. From the 3D viewport, you can see that this setup has 3 cameras projecting onto our curved LED wall. Each camera is projecting a different angle of the 360 plate with a controllable feathered area with overlaps. We can control the elements of the blend in the camera render settings. This is useful in the scenario where a 360 plate has been delivered late and there's not enough time to go through this correct stitching process. All the cameras are considered inner cameras in this project and have the textures applied as imported equirectangle images outputted to our displays. Our next LED setup uses 5 displays instead of multiple cameras. This setup has 2 front displays for the background, 1 left, 1 right, and 1 ceiling display contributing to the environment lighting. Similarly with cameras, each display has an output path that is pointing to a script tree in the comp window. The scripts have been created in a way to account for changes that might be required during the shoot, such as switches that allow LED content to be flipped to a rear view at the press of a button. The light cards can match color, temperature, Kelvin values to match physical lighting fixtures on set and work better with gaffers and DOPs. And if the background isn't completely locked, you can always use the LED stage as a green screen while still using the external displays for lighting and reflections of the stage and subject. Another useful feature that we should look into in Nuke Stage is the sequencer panel. The sequencer acts like a cross between a timeline and a dope sheet, but for this example I'll demonstrate the dope sheet and animating parameters. Let's say we need some police flashing lights in a scene and we need to quickly create a light ball that animates and flashes red and blue lights. First, we'll create a sphere and then do a texture override. In the comp workspace, we'll delete the default constant and then apply a checkerboard by either right clicking or pressing tab in the node graph area and then connecting the node to the output. Now we'll switch to the sequence workspace, create a new sequencer to work with and make sure the scene graph is visible and highlight the sphere. If you take a look at the properties for the sphere, nearly all the parameters here are animatable and you can access them by clicking and dragging into the sequencer. Let's take the rotation value. We'll add our first keyframe at 0 here and then move along the time and add a new keyframe with a value of 720 on the y-axis. We can also add a Q event here and set the behavior to jump back to the 0 frame on the timeline. When we press play, we can see that the sphere will rotate on a loop. Here we can change the duration, speed, and also see the curves of the interpolation via the sequencer. But let's say we're happy with the speed now and we need to give it a red and blue texture. For this, we'll hop over to the comp workspace, view the output in the image viewer, add a constant, merge a radial shape, add a transform beneath, change the dimensions of the radial, duplicate, merge underneath, and offset to the right and change the colors. And then if we hop back to our scene workspace, we should see a red and blue flashing light ball. All we need to do now is place this in a 360 environment behind the display, and the outer camera will pick up the lighting contribution and simulate the flashing light effect on the LED stage. That's all for the custom setups video. Next, let's take a look at a scene utilizing a 2.5D setup from Nuke.